you will never do great things if you're relying on you doing all the things.
Right.
And the only way you're going to do great things is if you get great people
Right.
to do decent things, and then better, and then better, and then great,
Right.
and then more.
I need to really focus on building a team, and I stopped looking for talent. I started looking for their fundamental values. I needed that person that was down to get on his knees and hold the camera steady, that was down to get on his back under the car to get that shot.
You have an amazing book of clients now.
Yes.
So how'd you get to the client side?
So
Welcome to another episode of Special Ops Podcast. Today we are at Driven Mastermind in Mexico. We have been filming a few episodes here, calling them the Driven Diaries, and we are super excited to have Chris Encarnacion, a dear, sweet friend of ours, a Driven member, and an agency owner. Chris, we've watched you over the past year go from having a pretty decent offer and business to an agency and a force to be reckoned with. And so I love that you're on, and I'd love for you to talk to us about how you went from, how do I buy this camera, to I don't even know where you are all the time. Like, you're traveling, you're doing it. You're the big man on campus.
Thank you.
You're the guy. You became the guy in a year.
Yeah.
I want to know how you did that.
Sickening, obsessive work ethic, just grinding it out. Pretty much I'll rest when I die, kind of delivery and intentional focus, having that meeting with the family. I've got to focus here. I need support. So no, I won't be coming to bed at 10, 11, 12 p.m. or a.m., whatever. I'm going to be working till 5, 6, 7 in the morning, putting in 2-3 hour naps, another 12 straight hours, 2-3 hour naps. I mean, it's not the healthiest way to do it. It really isn't. But I looked at it this way. I know I'm really talented. I've been blessed with a lot of talent, but I also understand that if talent doesn't work hard work's going to kick my butt every time, right? So I didn't want someone with hard work to even think they had a chance. So I knew if I just gave it my all and I have that talent, which is the sprinkle on top, I wouldn't be touched. And then everything else is just this lovely lady over here guiding me and whipping me into shape, and taking constructive criticism and just understanding that, I can't be high on my own supply, which I was a little bit in the beginning. I thought like I'm the best in the world at this, but there's other things of business that I had no idea about, like proper SOPs, proper systems, proper communication, proper training.
Billing people. You didn't know how to bill people.
Well, yeah, not properly. I know. I mean, you have to be okay with training and hiring your replacement. I've got a great team that I absolutely trust, that I'm proud of. When I was first starting, I was selling myself, and I had a small team helping me sell myself and helping me in the kitchen with the sausage that I was trying to, I felt good about it, but I knew I didn't have that just like ready for Coca-Cola type of team, Because
there it is. Because as you say, oh, hard work, that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
You will never do great things if you're relying on you doing all the things.
Right.
And the only way you're going to do great things is if you get great people
Right.
to do decent things, and then better, and then better, and then great,
Right.
and then more.
Right. Yeah, and that's exactly it. I was just kind of stuck, but now I've got the team that I'm so proud of, just to say, look at them. Here they are, they're here.
Talk to me about how you did that, because it's one thing to say, well, I got a team.
Right.
Talk to me how you built that team.
Trust, being clear on what we're doing and the mission and the vision, and being clear and of what the plan is in place. And as soon as we hit those KPIs, or we hit those mile markers, we're all gonna enjoy and benefit and work together and grow together. So, having conversations with leadership and asking them, where do you want to be in 5-6 years, and actually drafting out exactly the plan to get them exactly what they want. And I realized once I get them exactly what they want, hopefully they're down for the ride all the way through, to get to be able to build.
I love that your team is actually filming
Yeah,
this,
no,
and they're
they're
like
here.
listening.
Yeah. No, it's
like
fine.
that's my favorite part,
Yeah.
because as you're talking about the vision, one of your guys is sitting in the back and he had his head down and he looked up and the smile on his face, it meant one of two things. One, you've never relayed the vision to him. Or two, he's really bought it, and I'll bet the latter of the two.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my guys are awesome. Like, I'd take a bullet for them, they take a bullet for me kind of thing.
That's kind of extreme.
No, that's why I call it.
We're just in business. How about they just make money for us and we pay them all?
There you go.
That kind of exchange. You guys like that exchange better? Yeah. Chris, go ahead, please.
I was just going to say, when you were talking about your vision, like, is that something that you had before you even started? Like you just knew exactly where you're going and like learning how to communicate that to the team? Or is that something that was more organically developed with the people that you had as part of it, getting clear on that?
Honestly, I'll be completely honest, and this is just, I could tell you the right political, the media trained version of this. Like, I knew the vision, and I just had to know. The truth is,
I know the truth.
Yeah, the truth is, I was just trying to keep the lights on. I mean, I was laid off from a job that was acquired, that got sold, and the new owners just didn't need our department anymore. So I was laid off, and I did almost a decade. Everyone more or less knows my story, how I was the day one video producer over at Six Pack Shortcuts that got acquired, and then the new owners just, they had another idea. And then I just felt like, wow, I gave all this time and years. And I mean, if you look at, I probably had close to 2 months of vacation time accumulated because I never took vacation. And when I did go, I was working. So they never counted. They just said, dude, just roll it over because you worked through your vacation. Then you're, killing it with the VSLs, even when you're supposed to be on Christmas. I just never stopped. That's where I learned and sharpened my teeth on hustle, grind, doing whatever it takes. We have to convert. That whole philosophy, that mentality, I learned it there. But once I was on the other side and had nothing, I just, I had a conversation with my wife, and she just told me, the phone kept ringing. People just going, hey, I heard what happened. Hey, what are you doing? Can you help us with this? I'm like, oh, yeah. Hey, can you help us with this? Yeah. And I honestly didn't even know how to bill at the time. Didn't know what to do, really. I was just thinking, okay, at Six Pack, I used to make this much. And that's going to take me 2 weeks. So if I could at least make this much, I cover my nut that I made at Six Pack. That was kind of it.
Yeah.
And then when I started getting bombarded left to right, and I started saying yes, now I found myself in a situation where I'm working on 3 projects, making 3x the amount. But 8 hours a day times 3 is 24 hours.
Yeah.
So there you go. Hence me working 24 straight hours and sleeping for 2-3 hours and then going right back at it. And then I thought, okay, well, let me just hire some help. Reached out to some of the old employees at Six Pack. Some of them jumped on a few projects to help me out, which was nice because it kept we already had a system in place, working together for almost a decade, right?
Right.
And then it was me now looking for help and just reaching out to people. And I didn't realize how hard that is. I didn't realize how much people tend to suck when they're the wrong ones. Just either they wanted to be in the position where they were me, or they just had another vision, or they didn't give it their all, or they're trying to manage 2-3 clients and then I'm put in the back burner. Yeah. So their delay made it seem like it was my delay. And then I realized, like, okay, wait a minute. I need to really focus on building a team. And I stopped looking for talent. I started looking for their fundamental values, because I knew I could train talent. I'm amazing at what I do. But I needed that person that was down to get on his knees and hold the camera steady, that was down to get on his back under the car to get that shot, that was down to just put in the grinding hours and not complain and not, just someone that's got a callous, tough, because that's how I consider myself. And then once I started finding those people and we started essentially leaning on each other and working with each other, and that was the difference. It was really the people. I mean, so they're working with the wrong people. Right. I started getting the vision organically. Like, okay, my vision is to become absolutely amazing at what we do with our quality, with how we deliver, and hopefully everything that we do converts, which, that's not, you got to keep working. I think a good VSL producer is, what does he do when it doesn't convert? That's what the question you have to ask, because a lot of them tend to turn the cheek and just move on. New project, new client.
Not my responsibility.
Yeah, no responsibility, and I'm willing to die on the sword for my clients. So if it doesn't work, let's keep grinding it out and figuring it out. And sometimes, after 3-4 iterations of that, now I start questioning, like, well, what are you really doing with this video? Like, is there something else that's wrong? Because I don't think it's us. Like, that's where, like, what kind of quality traffic are you getting? Yeah. I had to learn the whole system and how it worked, so I knew that the value that I brought to the table and how, because there are people
and how to guide them and how to make it work, right?
Yeah, and there's people that drop the ball. Sometimes the copy's not great, so I lean on amazing copywriters.
I've stayed up with you overnight rewriting copy.
Right. And you would think,
We've done that.
yes.
We've done that.
Yeah.
While you were in the
Absolutely.
bathtub.
In the dark.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, you were my Perry Belcher is now the person who calls me from the bathtub, but you were my introduction to men who would call me from bathtubs to get help.
Yeah, I think I was, because my body hurt from being in production all day, so I was soaking just to get
Yeah.
enough strength for the next day. But essentially,
happens.
I believe it happened.
no, it's true. And just rewriting because a lot of copywriters, they write and they're thinking what they're writing, but they don't speak it out loud. So when I go into production, people are going to triple over their words, stumble over certain sentences.
And you're making them see what the copywriter saw without being the person who saw it when they wrote it, which is a phenomenal skill in itself. I want to go back though for a second, because you were talking about how you identified who your avatar was, essentially, what values they had by working with people who didn't work out. How did you ascend to that with your clientele? Did you do the same thing with your clientele? Did you find your avatar through who you didn't want to work with? How did you find you have an amazing book of clients now?
Yes.
You didn't before.
Right.
It was a tough time for you.
Right.
So I'd like to hear how you progressed from working with people that were difficult to work with, employing people that were difficult to work with, to where you got today, where I understand how you got to your employees, but how'd you get to the client side?
So I first started internally. Like I knew I couldn't come to the table with the three-legged dog that I had built. We did do good stuff, and I am proud of a lot of things that we did, but I did see a lot of now where I am now, and I see how amazing we are now with our customer service, our every Friday client update. We give an update with everything that we've done and our communicate. I mean, we're just night and day of who we even were a year ago. But a year ago, the sausage tastes amazing, but just
The kitchen was a mess.
the kitchen was a mess.
The kitchen was a mess.
It was a mess, but the sausage tastes amazing. But the kitchen was a mess.
Sausage did taste great.
Yeah, and it's sometimes, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts in VSLs.
Yeah.
You're talking about copy, props, location, the crew, feeding everyone.
Logistics
The
and
actor has to
everything,
perform. Sometimes the actor. I mean, a lot of times I get a
If
lot
the
of.
room is too hot, if they didn't sleep well the night before,
Yeah.
if there's construction outside that you weren't anticipating.
Yeah, and there's been a huge crescendo of these doctors on camera where, hello, doctors aren't actors. They sometimes some of them have never done anything like this. So you get them and they're just cold and hi. I'm Dr. So-and-so, and in this video, we will talk. So how
It's
do you...
intimidating if you've never been on camera before.
So me as a director, I have to just teach them the crescendos of the timing and the emotions and the hills and valleys to deliver a great performance where you captivate the audience, where you connect with the avatar. So directing them to do that, making sure that they're happy, they're good, they have coffee, they have water, they have makeup, they have hair, that they're nice
feel
and
good,
nice
right?
and
Yeah.
pressed, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of juggling. So I knew when it came to capturing those moments and going into the editing room, that's easy. The hard part was that capturing the magic to then going into the editing room. So once I actually focused and really broke it down, I mean, Emma's amazing at guiding me. I hired a business coach as well that's been guiding me, and we really structured it. Okay, this is my fulfillment team. This is my sales and marketing team. This is my client account member.
Account management.
Oh yeah, account management. This is my. So once we structured all the pieces and actually my leadership and everything, and we actually started doing daily huddles every day, and I got organized on that every day. Daily huddles. What are you doing? What are you not? What are you doing? Let's work on this. Let's work on that. I have company meetings once a month just to see where are we hitting our KPIs. And once I felt like, okay, the SOPs are there, everyone's on board, everyone's crushing it, man, now my guys are cutting stuff that inspire me. I look at some of the stuff that they do and I go, bro, that's amazing. Like my hands are still, wow. They're getting creative, they're getting inspired. So now that I have the product and the team, and I know for a shadow of a doubt, they're just, the system's there, everything's good. Now finding the clients we're ready
The
for
right
that.
clients.
Yeah, the right clients.
Because you always had clients.
Yeah, I've always had
That was
clients.
never a problem.
Yeah, no, and honestly,
Getting people to pay you isn't a problem.
no,
Getting
no.
the right people to pay you.
Right. And that's the thing. It's just always had clients, never had a problem, always made a good amount of money, and I was able to reinvest it and get the team going. But I wasn't getting my dream clients.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
I'm getting my dream clients, and it's just after 4 months of working with them, it just becomes easy. we're calibrated. We feel like one unit. We feel like one team. I feel like we work for them in a way, and they just love us. You know, they tell us, dude, you guys are killing it. We're so happy with the communication. I mean, they're saying, my account manager, they're sending him direct messages saying, I just want to tell you we appreciate your professionalism and you're on top of it. Chris is lucky to have you. Like, I'm getting people screenshotting, my team's screenshotting messages of my clients, messaging them saying, thanks so much. You know, I now we're doing productions in multiple cities at the same time. So we can have a production happening in Austin while having one happening in Detroit, while having another one happening in LA, while having one happening in Atlanta, while having one happen in Miami. So I mean, we've juggled up to 4 different productions at the exact same time. Actually, we're here and there's something happening in Austin, Texas right now. Someone's shooting a VSL.
And that's where it's at, right? And so it's not about the grind.
No.
You have to have the work hard
at the start
in order to get somewhere so you can actually afford to pay people. But like, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Like, no, I'm so proud of you. And I've loved to see you grow. In all honesty, I had no idea that you would be able to grow this thing as fast as you did. And it was funny because I'd be like, Chris, you need a bookkeeper. And then a week later, I'd be like, do you have a bookkeeper? Just because I was being a bitch. And I hired one. I hired one the day you told me to. Oh.
Okay.
Chris, you need an SOP for this. Oh, no, I got one. No, you don't. Here it is. I got one. You told me to write it. I wrote it. Your speed of implementation is why you were able to build such a phenomenal, big thing that's a machine. And it's a machine now.
Oh, for sure.
I know, I see it. And I'm just so proud of you.
Thank
you. Again, your speed of implementation.
Yeah, I learned that at Six Pack too. Like I did, because I remembered when we were in situations where, I got to give a little credit there, because we were in situations where, let's say, Mike Chang said, hey, I'm no longer want to be in front of the camera. Sorry, I'm out. And it just didn't work out. We were like, how do we keep selling this? We don't have the Nike. I mean, Johnson Lee says this all the time. Here's the sneaker. It had Nike on it. We rip off the Nike sign. And
you still got to sell it for the same price.
Sell the sneaker, yeah. So that we had to move 10x as fast because we were absolutely bleeding, and that grind went, I learned it there. So now on this side, like, I knew you feel it in the pit of your stomach, like the certain gear that you have to be at to push things through and break certain barriers. And I knew, okay, I am gonna go full throttle, and me feeling that, okay, there it is. There's that nerve in my gut. I know I'm there. I'm going full, and so me understanding what that gear that was, and just, communicating to them and teaching them what gear that is. We don't turn it on all the time now, because now systems and processes and learning from her made it so much easier now. And then just also 3Xing my team too made a huge difference. If you think you can knock something out in the time you think you can knock it out with the team that you think you have, you're probably, either two things are going to happen. It's going to be super easy because the task was super small, or it's going to be super hard because the task is super big. So the only way to guarantee that you could absolutely make it and make it easier for yourself is really tripling down on quality people. Yeah. And just understanding that, if like right now, I'll give you an example. Like we're here, and we ended up knocking out. I mean, if you don't mind me kind of speaking to them a little bit, but like, how many VSLs and ads do you think we've knocked out in the last month?
Eight VSLs in 1 month.
Oh my God.
It used to take him like 2 months to do one. So it's
incredible.
But when it comes to AI, voice generated stuff, dude, we could do like, we're in the hundreds for sure. Yeah, that's not hard at all.
But being able to film and get all that.
Yeah, being able to film, coordinate actual production. Because the thing about a VSL, when you're with a doctor or anyone, a VSL that hasn't been in front of the camera, you're at least average of 4 days. I've worked with some people that can knock out a VSL in 1.5 hours, which is that's
not the norm. That's insane.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's this side of the world, right? And that's not reality for most people.
I honestly have only worked with 3 people in my whole career that have been able to do that. Everyone else is an average about 3 to 4 days.
Wow.
Just because they're not used to being in front of the camera. They're not.
Right.
So when 8 VSLs, 8 different productions.
But that level of human creates a whole separate level of crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Right?
Totally. Yeah.
And let's get the right clients that take 3 days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's really amazing how now we essentially get to pick our own clients, and I've said no to so many people. Yeah, I really have. Like when they call me up and they have an amazing budget, and I go, wow, yeah, you're kind of right up there. And then when I start seeing exactly everything that they have in place, I just tell them sometimes, you're not ready for a VSL. And they think that they are. And I have to be smart enough to tell them you're not. And then the ones that are ready and we align, it's absolute magic.
Go.
Yeah, that's great. It's awesome. It's nice when you have enough business that you can work with who you want to work with, when you want to work with. We were just talking to Qasim Islam, and he was just saying, I don't remember how we got there, but he was saying it's really great when you have enough money. You can just fire clients because their voice pisses you off. Right.
Here's a stack of cash.
Right. Chris, it's been freaking awesome having you on. I've loved our friendship and we're vendors for and to each other. I've watched you grow. You've watched me grow. We've had just a great journey, and I can't wait to see what the next year brings. Thanks for coming on Special Ops podcast. And God, can I offer something?
Sure.
Can I?
Sure.
You ready?
Yes.
Come fuck you up real quick.
I know.
Okay. So for our listeners, if you're interested in Chris or VSL ads and you would like to hear how working with him could change your business, he'll do a free audit.
Yes, absolutely.
And so you can check out his information at specialopspodcast.com. All of the information will be there that you can get to get your free audit to up-level your VSLs, your ads, and your overall video content. So thank you, Chris, for popping over. And dude, I just love you.
Thank you. Love you guys
Appreciate
too.
it so much,
Yeah,
man.
for real. I've learned so much from you guys, honestly. So
been
I
good.
appreciate it. Yeah.